What's up, guys? Coming back after a couple month hiatus here. Things in my life been a little bit unpredictable lately. Haven't really had much time to work on motorcycles and make videos like I want to, but I just went back and saw a couple of the old ones, got a little nostalgic, so I figured I'd come back, take a crack at it. Still got the YZ. I still got both YZs actually. I don't know if I mentioned this on the channel, but I have two. And today we're just gonna try to get them both running. Do little things to tinker. I've got some parts ordered to see if I can't get both of these running and hopefully sold soon, because not that I'm strapped for cash, because I'm extremely rich and very wealthy, but I need the money more than I need these two bikes in the moment. So let's see. We'll jump right in. I'll show you the situation. So here we are. You guys remember this beauty? We can go ahead and get these damn ugly stickers taken off of this thing. Right now I got the front wheel off going over here. I had a harrowing situation where I found out the front wheel bearing was on its last leg during a ride. And yeah, it's never fun. So we can get that going. I got the parts coming for this. And in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and get the fuel shutoff fixed on it, because my current situation of having a vice grip to keep it from leaking fuel all over the floor is not viable. So new peacock coming on. The other YZ is actually a lot nicer. It's in much better condition. The front wheel's also off of this one because the tube is punctured and keeps going flat. So we'll see about getting that fixed. And this one right here doesn't want to stay running. So maybe swap carbs, tinker around with reed valves, see if we can't fix something. I have a sneaky suspicion this one right here might be having a bit of an air leak. Go ahead and start by taking these stickers off. I'm gonna get some cleaner going on here to hopefully loosen some things up a little bit. Try and make these come off a little bit easier. I like to try to keep from scratching these plastics as much as I can, even though they're already pretty trashed. Oh wow. They must have put this on when this number plate was brand new. How funny is that? If anybody wants a Yamaha Star Racing sticker, I will sell this for only $500. First come, first serve. I know what I got. The DR350 is still running strong because an absolute genius rebuilt the motor in it. You can check out my earlier videos to see that if you ain't seen those yet. That was a fun project. That was about a year ago. Almost to the day a year ago I wrapped that up and then immediately broke my ankle. So there's some funny content out from me about that. Very nice. It's an awfully nice FMF sticker. I hate to see it go to waste. Now for every dirt bike flipper's secret weapon, Goo Gone, magical serum. Let's see. Oh, this might be too tough for even the Goo Gone. All right, moving on down here. You know, as much as I cuss these bikes and as much of a pain in the behind it can be to keep them going and keep them running, it is pretty remarkable that a guy can still get a running motorcycle in fair enough shape. I mean, serviceable shape at least, for only a couple $1,000. $1,500 to $2,000. You can usually get yourself a pretty decent bike. Might need a little bit of work. These two strokes are a little bit different. These bikes tend to get abused their entire lifetimes, it seems. This one's previous owner was clearly pretty rough on it. I don't know how if these plastics can be restored or not. Try some of this. Little degreaser. Try to soften some of that up there. Oh, that seems to be working great, actually. Wow. Not perfect, but definitely much better. Let's see the other side. Yeah, it's a big difference. That's a big difference. I think while I'm doing the other side, I'll go ahead and get the gasoline draining out of this thing so I can take a look at that petcock. In all my time of buying and selling these things, I ain't never had one leak fuel quite like this one. And it's all because of this fuel shutoff valve. It don't close all the way. I'm gonna take it apart and see if I can't fix it. I figure there might be some grime stuck in there. Maybe an O-ring needs replaced. I got a bunch of spare O-rings. Maybe one of them might fit. Or I could cut one down to size. I know for a fact this tube ain't gonna be long enough to reach into my bucket here. So I've hooked up some redneck engineering. I got some fuel tube that should fit around that and some real wide fuel tube here so I can get it to sit right like that and drain straight out into that bucket without any hassle. Let's see if my plan works. Get this off of here. That seems to do pretty good, actually. And there we go, just like that. Go ahead and let that drain for a while. You know, say I'm pretty proud of my handiwork there with that one. That may just be the smartest idea I've ever had. Now to actually pull off the valve and hopefully catch all the gas that spills out remaining in this little half a can here. Wanting to spin. I swear it's like an idiot's been in here and touched every screw and nut and bolt on this thing. And it's not me this time. I'm not even the idiot. It's a different idiot. Please break free. Oh, good God. Oh, good night. Okay, I have to try something else. It fits in there a little bit nicer. Let's say a prayer real quick. Dear God, please don't let this strip out fully. What I'm trying to do now, I've got a slightly fatter Phillips head. I don't know if it's a fully as a number 2 or not, or number 3 or not, but it's a little bit fatter, and I've got it set up in this in my ratchet here with a magnetic socket to hold it. We'll see if I can't crack it free with this, because I don't have a very short number 3 Phillips. Nope, it's not gonna work. Those of you watching at home may not know, but screwdrivers have different sizes to them. Phillips head screwdrivers, it's not all one size. And that may sound obvious to some of you, but I know when I first learned this, I was a little boy, it was a shock to me. And as you can see here, this is a number 1 screwdriver. You can see, let's see if it says it anywhere. It doesn't. This is a size number 1 screwdriver. This is going to be for really tiny stuff. Nothing you'd find on a dirt bike. Number 2 screwdriver, a little bit bigger head, as you can see. This will be like your average screw. Well, hold on. Okay, perfect example. So a number 1 screwdriver would take off the faceplate bolts on this petcock right here. These 2 bolts, a number 1 screwdriver would touch. I don't know if these would be on anything else. Maybe some carburetor component. Yep, the idle valve, the idle air screw in there, it'll touch. And then number 3 screwdriver's got a much fatter head. And this is on, this is actually what's used to hold a lot of times brake rotors onto the hub of a car will be a size 3. And that's because you can put an impact driver on there and snatch them off and it won't snap off your head of your screwdriver. So really handy, good to keep these around. Let's see if I can get it up in here. Nope. Tearing that all up. Let's see, one last option is this little ratcheting screwdriver. This little thing might work. Let's see. Yep, that did it. That did it. I bet this bolt is stripped out. So the reason these would be stripped out would be because the last guy didn't have a number 3 screwdriver and was trying to do it with a number 2, and that thinner head was spinning around in here. I try to be as entertaining as I can in these videos, but a lot of this tinkering stuff is a lot of silent thinking and head shaking and cursing the last guy who worked on it. Yeah, as you can see, that's not, well, let's see, that's not exactly in the best shape there. Hopefully that'll focus in. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I'll get a close-up later. This looks like water's gotten into this gas. All right, so this is what we got out of here. This thing's disgusting. To be honest with you, it looks done. It looks like it needs a new O-ring. A new one of these is maybe 20 bucks. An O-ring's probably $7. Just be best to replace the whole thing. I'll see if I can't do something to get it to work right again, but no real expectations here. Something a little new here on the YouTube channel. Bench top view. I'm going to see if I can't clean this thing up some. I'm taking a look at the inside. I got a little bit of it cleaned out. Let's see what we can do. So upon further inspection, it doesn't seem like I'm going to be able to do anything for this. Like I was saying, it looks like, I thought this might be another way for fuel to get in, but I remember this bike doesn't have a reserve. It's just got an on or off. On here, a lot of bikes will have a reserve, and basically what that would be, it'd be a second one of these fuel pickups that goes up higher, so you can run out of gas and then flip it to reserve and then pick up from the shorter tube and be able to still run your bike for a couple miles till you can get home or to, you know, be able to fill up. This bike doesn't have that. It's a race bike, obviously, so gonna need to get another one of these. All right, everybody, it's been a couple days since I decided this thing wasn't worth trying to save. Went ahead and ordered me a new one. And here it is. We'll go ahead and get it taken up out the box. Let's see what we got here. There we go. And it comes with a new O-ring. Okay, good. I was worried about that. It looks about the same. Let's see. I'd say that's about even there. It looks about exact same to me. I don't see anything too different about these. Good. Before I go about sticking this new peacock on there, I want to see if I got any bolts so I can use to replace these, you know, as they got pretty chewed up when I took them out. And for that, we're going to go ahead and take a look over here in the junk drawer, which, I don't know, I don't see much that would match that. Might just have to stick with what we got. All right, on we go. That nice, unpredictable North Carolina weather. Last week it was like 102 here. Today, 66 and rainy. Oh well. Before we get to sticking this new part on here, I'm going to clean up the surface as much as I can. It ain't too dirty. I guess all it's been up under here is gasoline, and gasoline does work as a cleaning agent, but sometimes that wetness from the gasoline seeping around that O-ring can trap dirt and grime. It looks like it's done just that. So, yeah, it's pretty clean. Here's our new part going on here. There's that O-ring. You always got to double, triple check that your O-rings aren't pinched and that there's no debris in there that's going to make it not seal well, because then you'll just be doing that job right over again. I can't tell you how many jobs I've done working as a mechanic, pinching O-rings, or not having them set in just right, having to go back and redo, or worse, having to buy a new O-ring. That goes for just about any sort of gasket, not just O-rings, by the way. Any sort of rubber gasket or metal gasket that's going on with your parts. This, your left side bolt, there we go. Just being a little bit stubborn, putting up a little bit of a fight. Let's see. These ratcheting screwdrivers are just the handiest things. Let's see. This is a cheap one, so it's no snap-on, but gets the job done. If I could find the, there it is. It is a struggle. There we go. Whew. Embarrassing myself on camera here. Get these nice and snug. The old ones were very tight. I don't care to get them as tight as they were, but snug is probably good for that thing. And there it is. How nice. This old fuel line on here is old. It's wore out. It's a little too short to reach from here all the way over to here. It's phony. I'm replacing it. I've got some vacuum line or some thinner fuel line that I keep. Yeah, this thing's ripping, tearing apart. You can hear it, how hard that rubber's getting. I'm just done. I'm done dealing with it. No more. Probably also doesn't help that I had vice grips on it for weeks on end. Let's see if this works. This is some fuel tube off a car. Yeah, if it fits on the carb, it should fit up on the, yeah, no problem. The only thing a serrated knife edge is good for, cutting through fuel tube. I hate serrated knives more than anything, but I will give them that. They're great at cutting through fuel tube. All right, now to fill her up and see if that fixes it. There we go. And now it should stop. Perfect. Now the final thing needs tending to here is this drain right here. This is the bowl overflow drain. And the reason why that's leaking is because the needle valve isn't seating properly. Basically, this is the bowl. This bottom part of the carburetor is the bowl. And gasoline, when you turn the gas on, fills up the bowl, runs down through this tube, fills up the bowl. And then that needle valve in there sits and it controls the level. So if the level's low, then the needle valve will drop down and open up and allow more fuel to come in. And it's not seating properly and causing a leak. Although after I fix the petcock there, it doesn't seem to be dripping out. I'll have to keep an eye on it because I'm sure that it didn't magically fix it. I never get that lucky. And we'll see. Either way, I got a carb kit coming for it, so I may have to fix it, I may not have to. We'll see. All right, I'm gonna kick her over a couple times and see if it's getting the right amount of fuel. See if it starts leaking out of the drain down there, like I said. Go ahead and lean. Well, that carburetor looks dry, so that's a good sign. Let's see. I had the choke on for that. See if she'll start up without the choke. Oh, that's nice. Idling a little high. Touchy throttle on this bike. Idling a little bit high. I have to turn down that idle air valve. And yeah, well, I went to the gas station real quick and come back, and that overflows nice and leaking gas all over my shop floor. So safe to say that carburetor rebuild kit's going to be coming in handy, huh? Luckily for me, I have this nice newly installed peacock that can just shut off the fuel to it, so it doesn't have to keep dripping eventually once the bowl runs out. And while we wait for that, we can get to looking at this guy. Now, although these bikes are different years, they're very close together, and that other bike had this nice Pro Circuit head pipe on it that I've stolen and stuck on this one. When I went to go take the pipe on this one and put on the other one, it actually didn't fit, which is a shock to me. So I bought another one. I bought this FMF pipe over here. It's a FMF, what's it called? FMF SST pipe. I went to put it on that one as well, thinking it would fit, and lo and behold, it doesn't. So I guess the 2001 and 2003 bikes are slightly different, just different enough to have head pipes that won't fit on each other. So now I've got 3 head pipes. I'm going to go ahead and stick this one back on the old YZ, or stick this one on this YZ, take this pipe off and stick it on that one, and see if we can't come up with some sort of solution here. I'm working with a gimbal right now, so if the video looks a little wonky, or if I'm, why am I filming the front fender here? It's because I'm working with this DJI gimbal, and I don't really have much practice with it, but it does get some good looking footage. It is smooth. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If I keep using the gimbal or just go back to handheld. Few things in life are as frustrating as trying to take off these springs without the proper tool. I've done it with pliers before. I've done it with screwdrivers. It's never fun. If you can get yourself one with a T-handle, that's best. But I have this pick here. I got it from Snap-on when I was a mechanic. And it seems to have just enough grab right here to be able to pull them off with relative ease. There we go. You don't want to lose those springs either. Exhaust leaks on these are no joke. Looks like to get this pipe off here, it's just a couple 10s and a couple 8s. This old Yamaha head pipe is very dented up. I'd like to keep the Pro Circuit pipe on this one if I could, but this is the only one that fits on this bike, and I know that Pro Circuit pipe fits on the other YZ, so we'll have to make do, at least for diagnostics. There we go. There were no gaskets in this pipe, and there was no gasket back here either when I bought this bike. This thing's such a wreck. Cleaning up this old mating surface here. This is the power valve in here. The power valve changes the size and shape of the exhaust port on these 2-strokes to make optimal power. It works similar to how variable valve timing works in the car. Not in practice, but in effect. Basically how variable valve timing allows for a vehicle to make optimal let-in gases and let-out gases at an optimal rate. That's kind of the same principle here that a power valve does for a 2-stroke. 4-strokes don't have these. I'm not replacing any gaskets here, just reusing old stuff for the time being, just till I can figure out what's going on with this guy. There we go. Lined everything up nicely. Let's see if I can't find these bolts I took off 6 months ago. Here we go. I've learned a valuable lesson with having these two YZ125s, and that's that adding multiple projects, layering multiple projects on top of each other doesn't just make it twice as hard. It becomes exponentially harder to keep track of everything when you've got so much going on. And this is just, I mean, this is supposed to be a hobby. I mean, this is supposed to all be fun stuff. And now here I am scrambling, trying to get everything worked out so I can get these things sold, move on with my life. This pipe's real dirty. I ordered some factory gaskets for the, I haven't had much luck with these. Oh, it's been repaired. Look at that. Damn, there's a lot of oil in here. Must have been running rich. Gee-o. This spring's broken and is going to have to be replaced. I'm going to go ahead and just cut it and use the ones off the other bike for right now. I have more coming. There we are. Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Clean this off some. I'm going to temporarily reattach this rear subframe here, just so I can have something to slip that muffler onto. There we go, that's fine. It's a Pro Circuit muffler came with it as well. I'm working right now with one of those flexible arm tripods holding the camera. I don't know if you guys are interested in even hearing about the video making side of all this. You know, I'll probably just here for the dirt bikes, but I think that it's always interesting to hear how something's made. There we go. Exhaust system's all hooked up here. Now I can get to trying to do some sort of diagnosis on this thing. First things first. Do anything here. Nothing. All right, so we're gonna see if this thing's even got gasoline in it, because to be honest, it's been so long since I've fooled with it. I don't remember. Oh, this one does have a reserve. What the hell? I don't know if that's a factory or aftermarket thing that the prior owner added, but these two bikes get more and more different every time I fool with them. There's gas in the pipe here, in the fuel tube, which tells me it must have some amount of gasoline in it. Let's see. Here we go. Yeah, it's got gas. I don't know how good this gas is. It's probably some old gas. I'd say this gas is probably 2 or 3 months old. But it is non-ethanol, so theoretically, should work. Go ahead and take the filter out. I'm going to try and just put some gas straight in the carb with a squirt bottle. That don't look very promising. That's some dark green gasoline. I suppose it is mixed. I don't see anything floating around in it. We'll give it a shot. Come on. Come on, do something. All right. We'll check for spark. We'll get in here, snatch this plug out with the adjustable and see if we can't. Oh, shit. I got it. See if we can't take a look at it while kicking it over. See if we're getting some sparky, or if there ain't nothing happening. I don't know if you can see that or not. That's actually sparking pretty strong. Yeah, it's got spark. So it got spark. Heat and gas won't run. Uh-oh. See if we can't drip a little bit of gas on into the combustion chamber there. Oh, I'm making a mess. All right, we'll give her a shot. If this don't work, it's have to be a project for another day because I'm running out of time here. I'd say this video is probably long enough already. All right, moment of truth. Alright, well, we'll end this video in a cloud of smoke. Looks like we got 2 running YZs right now. Next video, we'll see if we can't get them to actually run well, and then we'll be on to selling them. Thanks for watching.